Shabbat Shalom, everybody. This is Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Stephen Epstein with you from Temple Shalom of Ontario. Hope you're doing well. Can you believe it? Rosh Hashanah is just about a week away. And we are planning our high holidays. Like I said, we'll have Cantor guests with us again. And this time we'll be all together. There's COVID is pretty much dissipated, or at least it's become enough of a part of life to where we're just dealing with it, right? People that want to wear masks. People that don't come, they don't come. But at this point, people, it seems, that are coming down with COVID, it's basically just another flu, it seems. So, of course, you got to take precautions. Let's face it. Viruses, bacteria, infections. You have to be careful. You have to take care of yourself. And it's funny because at the end of this week's portion, Nitzavim, what do we say? Choose life. And what does that mean? Well, Nitzavim, we are winding down the Torah. And for me, Simchat Torah is, Simchat Torah, the joy of the Torah, right? Simchat, happy. Joy. We've come full circle. And we re-roll it, and we start over again. And we are winding down, and as we start reading Torah again for 5783, we already have yet another year of analyzing and reading and thinking and talking and chanting, and we're that further ahead in understanding God's law. So Nitzavim, we're starting to wind down, and Moses is saying, "As I stand." This is a fairly short portion, and in non-leap years, it is paired with Vayelech, which is the following week, which is next week's portion, together. And the triennial portion is actually the same portion as the regular portion. Like I said, it's a shorter portion. So Moses has just finished addressing the troops, addressing Israel, and with the Tochacha and the warning. If you do what you're supposed to do, everything will be fine. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, if you start worshiping idols, if you ignore the commandments, if you don't honor the widow, the orphan, the Levite, the stranger that lives among you, all the needy people that need some assistance, then, as God says, I too will withdraw my providence from you. I will withdraw my help, and you will see that without my support, things will not be really good. So Moses is now reiterating this. We're using a lot of Torah space to tell the people, the stiff-necked Israelites, we stiff-necked people, that you have to choose God. That's the message. You have to choose God's teaching. You are chosen to deliver God's message. You see the benefits of being chosen. The joke that some, Borscht Belt Jewish comedians used to make, could you choose someone else? No, it is an absolute honor to be chosen by God. And yeah, we've had more than our share of disasters, And we look in the Torah and we see that for inspiration. We see that our people, newly chosen by Hashem, meet with a lot of success. And as we see through the ages, as we go through, as Moses leaves us, as Joshua leads us, as we're in the era of the judges, the era of the kings, as the first temple is destroyed, the second one is rebuilt, we see how God supports us. We see the victories. And we know that after disasters, if we return to God, then we will be rewarded. Because we're doing right. We're doing the right thing. We're choosing life. That's what it says at the end of this portion. What does it mean to choose life? It has said, you will live by the Torah. That's choosing life. All those commandments. So think about this. Being a Jew doesn't just mean not worshiping idols, observing Shabbat, observing kashrut, praying our 3 times a day, bringing the offerings to now it's the synagogue. It means being a good person. That's why all this idea about the paganism is so off the table. It was because these people worship natural forces. They worship the actions of God rather than going straight to God. And what does the wind, what kind of wisdom does the wind or the sun have? They're inanimate objects. Sure, the Greeks and the Romans assigned personalities, consciousness as gods, and maybe in some way they are. When I say gods with a small g, maybe they have a power over us. The God, the sun can give light. It allows our crops to grow and produce food. But ultimately, it comes down to Hashem. One of what do we say in the morning service? We have Psalm 148, right, which talks about how God oversees, the lights, the heavenly bodies, and then we have Mariv Aravim in the evening that talks about, the planets and heavenly bodies, go to their appointed rounds according to thy divine will. And we have the corresponding prayer in the morning, the Berchot HaMa'orot, the first blessing before the Shema, where it also talks about that the heavenly bodies, they're appointed round. You created the heavenly bodies, you put them there in the sky. So we know that it all comes from God. And this is the message that Moses is giving Israel, the people Israel. He is saying, you're all here, all of you that are here, and all of you that are not here. Now, that's another interesting concept. All of you that are here, all of you that are not here. What does that mean? Does that mean, as some people think, that our ancestors made a deal with Hashem that we, in the future, are now bound? We have to, this is 3,500 years ago, and that's quite a long-term contract, isn't it? And I didn't have anything to say about it. But the point is, I think if we were all there, we would have agreed to it. There's also the idea that we were there, that every single Jewish soul was there at Mount Sinai. Even the people that, choose Judaism, that weren't born Jewish, but choose it later on in life. They were there too. Maybe there's also, if you want to get metaphysical, there was the idea of reincarnation. We were there, our souls were there, but our bodies were different. Think about that. And, Judaism kind of talks a little bit about reincarnation. We don't address it because what difference does it make? The only thing we have to understand is that however you want to look at it, we were there at Mount Sinai in one form or another, either our ancestors or we were there in, again, some form. And it is still our commandments. It's still our covenant. And think about the fact that whenever a male is born into Judaism or chooses Judaism, they accept upon themselves the covenant by undergoing circumcision, right? And either it's an actual operation, either it's done by a mohel, or maybe if they've been medically circumcised, they do the chatafat dabrit, which is where they just take a little pinprick, like with a diabetes stick, like they used to do, and just draw a little bit of blood, and now you're in the covenant. So, in a sense, all of us have actually accepted the yoke of the covenant upon ourselves. So yes, we were there. And Moses tells us to choose life. Accept God's commandments. Be diligent. You will be tempted, because you are a stiff-necked people, and we've seen some of the results of that. You are a stiff-necked people. You may be tempted to go off on your own and explore some of these other practices. Do not do it. Don't do it. Don't even think about it. You will be tempted. And you might say, well, I'll just try it a little bit. I'm strong enough. I can handle it. No, you're not. And we have seen in our history how tempting, what a tender trap it is to see other practices of other people's. Now, there's nothing really wrong, intrinsically wrong with other practices, but the problem is when they draw us away from Judaism. That's the problem. And a lot of those pagan rituals do that. So think about that as we close, as we come to a close in the Torah, as we approach the new year, 5783. Let us start to take stock of ourselves as we've done since the beginning of the month of Elul. And let us think about how we can do better, how we can be better with our fellow people, and what we can be better to ourselves as well. Okay? Choose life for yourself, for your family, friends, and for your people, and for humanity. Shabbat Shalom.